Guys, sorry, I just tried to film this and it said something about dropped frames. I don't know what was happening. Yeah, this is my it's my September wrap up. I have just recently moved to Portland. That's why I haven't really been posting any videos because it's been kind of like doo-doo-doo. We're staying at a friend's house right now, so we don't have our own space, but hopefully by the end of October we will be. And yeah, I'm studying to pass my NCLEX exam, which is going to be on the 6th, which I believe is Tuesday. So, super excited. And unfortunately, there is not going to be a giveaway in this video because I don't have a source of income right now and I'm super poor. Hopefully next month though, because it's so much fun. I like doing them. And then also I wanted to mention that Berkeley is doing something called Project Annotate, where basically you get put into a group of like 6 people and then you pick a book that you want to have annotated, and so you read it and annotate it, and then you send it to the next person and then they read it and annotate and then send it. So each person has a book, and so each person is mailing it kind of in a circle, and then at the end of the year you'll get back your book, your original book, with all the annotations of the people that were in your group, and it sounds amazing. So I'll link both of the videos for it below so hopefully you can still participate. The first 3 books I mentioned in my book buddy-a-thon wrap up, so I'll just post a link for that. I'm not going to go too into details. The first one is Audition by Rue Murakami, and this is translated by Ralph McCarthy, and this is like a super creepy, intense, like thriller type book. It was really good. It's not for young audiences, I guess. I don't know if that disclaimer needs to be made, but there is like sexual content in this book, and yeah, it was really good though. 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Agatha Christie's The Murder on the Links. I gave this 4 to 5 stars. This was really, really fun. It's a Poirot mystery, so it's Poirot, and I think it's Hastings is the name. I already forget, but I think so. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I actually guessed who the murderer was, and I'm super excited. There's like 2 murders. There's the main mystery that's happening, that's like this body that's found on the links, and then there's kind of like a secondary death that's related to it, but you know, ooh, crazy. I feel like that's already giving away too much. Really fun. The giant cast of characters trying to figure out who did it. Typical Agatha Christie. The next book that I read was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. This was incredible. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I don't even know why it took me so long in my life to read this, but oh my god, like, oof, it's so sad. Oh, maybe I should tell you what it's about. Kind of, it's 2 guys that are kind of, so like back in this time period in this area, you kind of like worked on farms for people and like did things. And so they're doing that, so they're just like wandering around doing that, and their goal though is to like save up enough money to be able to have their own place where they like make their own, you know, they grow their own stuff and it's not for someone else. And yeah, it's really, really moving. I enjoyed this so much, so much. The next book that I read, I started for the book buddy-a-thon, but I didn't finish, and that's A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. This was Sabrina's 5-star read, and I also, I'm pretty sure, gave it 5 stars. It was so good. It's a dual narrative of a girl, like a woman named Ruth, who finds a journal from the 16-year-old girl named Now, and Now is from Japan, and so it like kind of, I guess, like crossed over the water because Ruth is in the Pacific Northwest, and it's just so, so good. Every single character in this book, no matter how small or big they are, like I can feel them as a person. Like they are so real, and it was just so moving. And there's a lot of talk of like, because the great grandmother of Now is a Zen Buddhist nun, and there's just like a lot of messages in this book that are like really, really beautiful, and it's just so funny to me because I had a lot of, in my nursing program, we talked a lot about like being in the moment. I forget what it was called, but I just think that this like kind of applied to that a little bit, and it was so, so beautiful. I really, really recommend this if you haven't read it. And the next thing that I read was a buddy read with Michael at Knowledge Lost, and we read Bonjour Tristesse by Francoise Sagan, and then my copy also has A Certain Smile. I'm pretty sure he had the exact same copy and read both of them as well. So the first one, Bonjour Tristesse, I enjoyed more than A Certain Smile. Bonjour Tristesse is a girl who's with her father and the father's girlfriend, and they're like on vacation. It's basically like rich people problems. Like they're on vacation and like she has to study, but she doesn't want to, and she falls in love with this guy and like da da da. And then her deceased mom, so like the reason that he's dating is because her mom is dead. The mom's friend comes, and then stuff happens. Like shit gets real, basically. And so this woman kind of like is taking away the main character, whose name I can't remember now, Cecile, takes away her, she's kind of like infringing on her happiness and stuff. Like she's like, you need to study and da da da. And so Cecile kind of turns into a monster. I was telling Michael that I think she might have like histrionic or like some kind of personality disorder, and he was saying that's just the way teenagers are, and I was like, I guess, but like she's kind of a big shithead. She like is very manipulative, and she's like talking to someone and she's like, oh yeah, and then she talks to someone else and she's like, oh no, like this is, yeah, like she keeps flip-flopping back and forth on what she wants to do, and I just like disliked her a lot. But it was a good story in general, and like I think tear up a little bit towards the ending. The second one though, I did not really like very much. I forget what the name, I think it's Dominique. Dominique meets her boyfriend's uncle, and then they kind of start this love affair, but he keeps telling her the whole time like, you know, I love my wife, like I'm never gonna leave her, but you know, it's better for you to fall in love with me and then get your heart broken than for you to just like stay here and do nothing. And it's just like, what the no. Like what is wrong with you? I couldn't relate to any of the characters in the second story, and I don't know. Like the first one, while I disliked the main character, I still was able to kind of relate on some level to like some of the things that were happening. But the second one, I just felt like flat and not, I don't know, not as good to me. So I gave this overall 3 stars. I did enjoy Bonjour Tristesse more than A Certain Smile though. I might reread both of them in the future, but the Bonjour Tristesse one was a little too teen angsty for me, so I might not. And then the last book that I read was, I didn't do an underhyped readathon wrap up, in case you're wondering, because I didn't finish any of the books during the week. I did finish this one. This one had 941 ratings. This is Daniel Kelman's F, a novel. I read Fame by him over the summer, and I loved it so much, and so I bought this while I was in Germany also. And oh my gosh, this is so good. So it kind of is set up, it's like hard to explain. So there's multiple stories in it, but it's not a short story collection at all. It's all revolving around this father named Arthur Friedland. It's called F, I think, because their last name starts with an F. So Arthur, and then he has a son named Martin with one woman, and then he has twins by another woman who he's currently married to. And so it all starts with them going to this hypnotist show. So the first story is called The Great Lindemann. And then it's like the story of him taking his 3 sons to this hypnotist. And then each of the other stories, there's 5 more stories. So there's one from each of the sons' perspectives once they're older. And then there's one that's like kind of a short story that's kind of separate. And then there's kind of a wrap up at the very end that's from the daughter of one of the sons. And then it really does a good job of kind of like changing. It's all third person, but the last section, because it's kind of a wrap up and it gives you the perspectives of all the characters, but it like switches so flawlessly from one to the other that it's like you don't even realize until it's already happened. But yeah, each of the 3 sons, I think it's all like on one day. So each of the 3 sons are experiencing kind of the same day, but within that day, I mean, they're like each 40 pages long or something. It does go back and it shows like how they ended up there. But they kind of interact with each other. So it's not like retelling the same story from multiple perspectives because they're all living separate days in separate places, but they do kind of interact with each other like at a very small level, just so that you know that what the time frame is of the story, because that is really important, because there's like another character. It's so good. Please go read this. This is the book that I really wanted to do a giveaway for. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, but only because it didn't like move me to an extreme level. But with regards to like enjoyment, this was so good and funny, and read it. He's so good. I like need to read everything that he's written. He's brilliant. So those are the things that I finished. Oh my gosh, this video is getting long. Sorry guys. I did make a couple of story progress in this, and I started these two that I'm hoping to finish towards the beginning of this month, because I have like spooky reads that I want to read for October, and I don't know why I haven't been reading very much lately. And I also did read 3 single issue comics. I started Bob's Burgers. I don't know if you've watched Bob's Burgers, but it's an incredible TV show. This is 2 and 3. I don't know where my first one went, but it's so funny. I'm just going to give you an example. It's super hilarious. It's like there's always 3 different stories. There's Tina's story in the beginning. So this one is Tina's erotic friend fiction presents the spy who lived and let dance. So it's like kind of a Bond one. And then the Louise ones are always like mystery kind of. So Tina's always are very weird. Louise's are Louise's Unsolved Mysteries and Curious Curiosities. And they have different illustrators for them, so they're not illustrated by the same people each time. And then Jean's are Jean's Rhymey Rhymes That Could One Day Be Songs, and this one presents Jeanderella, so Jean is basically Cinderella, and it's so funny because Bob becomes his like fairy godmother, and I'm just obsessed with it. It's so funny. And he turns Jean into Jeanderella, and look how funny. The burger becomes the carriage, raccoons become the horses that ride it away. I just like, I love it so much. It's really, really funny. Okay, yeah. Oof, this video is long. Sorry about not having a giveaway. Hopefully next month. Let me know what you're reading and what you read. If you have a wrap-up video, please post it below. And please consider joining Project Annotate. I feel like it's going to be super, super rad. Bye.